Have you ever wondered why so few artists make any significant amount of money from their music? Like, it's surprising how few artists make $100,000 a year from their music, and even more astounding, how few make $1 million a year. And the reason is a lot of artists and musicians and even people think that the earning ability from their music is connected to the talent. We think that, oh, because they're a talented guitarist, a singer, or a producer, or a pianist, they should be making a lot of money. But how many talented people do we know that are really just struggling? So if we know musical talent alone isn't the connection to making six figures plus a year from music, then what is? And that's why in today's video, I want to cover business skills that artists need to make millions from their music. And when we talk about the music business, you need to know that there's two types of businesses inside of music. You either have the service-based business or a product-based business. Now, a service-based business is where people pay you to do a service. And when it comes to music, that could be touring or you playing a show for somebody. You get hired to play a show, play at a bar, come sing somewhere. It could be at a wedding, or it could be you're a session player where you're coming to play guitar or bass or piano on a song or something like that. But the whole point is you come to do the service, but you only get paid once. Let's say, for instance, that you get paid $1,000 to play a show and you play 7 shows in a week. Well, that means that you can make $7,000 in a week. And that might seem like a lot of money, but that means you're also capped at that because you can only do 1 show a day. So that is your ceiling, $7,000 a week, but you're also going to be exhausted and tired and not have much time to yourself because you've traded all your time for money. Now let's earn that same $1,000, but based on a product-based business. This is where you could sell a CD, a vinyl, a digital download, merch, or maybe a stream online via Spotify or something like that. So to make that same $1,000 a day, you could sell 100 CDs at $10 a pop. Or you could sell 50 vinyl at $20 a pop, or 340,000 streams a day on Spotify. But you could also break up that 340,000. You could have 100,000 on Spotify, 100,000 on YouTube, 50,000 on Apple, and 50,000 on Amazon streams to make all those streams together. Or you could get 2,000 sync placements. Now, I'm trying to just get your mind to think about the different ways you can make money without you having to travel, without you having to go spend and trade your time, but you do the work once and now the money's paying you in the background. I'll give you an example like I shared in a video earlier this week, is that we got a massive sync placement in the Super Bowl this year and in the Olympics, which is for a song I wrote 3 years ago. So it's work I did once and that continues to pay me and pay me. Because you see, it takes just as long for me to sell 1 vinyl or 1 CD as it does to sell thousands of them. All right. And we're going to be talking about this in another skill later on, but we partnered with a record label years ago in Japan, and they sold 10,000 records in a week while I was doing something completely different. Maybe I was touring, maybe I was in the studio, but all these things are happening in the background while I'm sleeping, working. It doesn't matter, but I'm not thinking about it, but it's still happening. And so the real takeaway that I want you to get here compared to the service-based business versus the product is with the service-based business, you're trading your time. Where with the product, you do the work once and then you're paid over and over again. But you've got to learn how to sever your income earning ability from time. That means you need to start making money while you sleep. I call this Swiss dollars. Sales while I sleep soundly or streams while I sleep soundly. Warren Buffett says, okay, if you always work and trade your time for money, you'll never experience financial freedom. But I don't know about you, but I want to experience financial freedom. And I have because the way I'm in the music business. So the skill number 1 is learning how to build a product-based business. Now, I'm not saying don't tour. I'm not saying don't trade your time for money. Those are also important skills, and you can make a lot of money that way, but you also need to be able to earn money while you sleep. And I'll be honest with you, touring was how I got my start. That's how I quit my job. That's how I was able to do music full time for a while. But honestly, I'm older now. I'm in my 40s. I have a family, and I don't tour anymore. And if I didn't own my masters of my music and have a catalog and was marketing and promoting and doing all these things so that I can be making money from my music while I sleep, I wouldn't be able to record this video. I wouldn't be able to songwrite and do what I do right now. I wouldn't have that freedom. So that's why it's so important to understand the difference between just trading your time versus investing your time to create something that pays you over and over again. I like to do and create and build things that pay me over and over. I don't like to do things once and get paid for it and then never get paid again. Sure, that's fine when it's like a big amount or something like that. That's great, especially like seed money and stuff like that. But really, I want things in my life that pay me over and over and over again. So that was skill number 1. Skill number 2 is partnerships. We've got to partner with other people, businesses, companies. The first one that comes to mind for me in the music business is DistroKid. They're the ones that distribute my music to Spotify, to Amazon, to Apple, to TikTok, all these different places so that people can hear my music. They have the relationships. They set up the business. I partner with them. I pay them a little sum of money every single year so that it allows me to have my music distributed. When I think of record labels, when we originally signed with the record label, I partnered with the record label so I could get my music out to more people. When I think about the first deal we did, the reason we did a deal with this label in the US was so that we could have our CDs distributed, so that they could be in stores. I didn't have relationships with those thousands of different stores. This is how we were able to start selling. I think we sold up to 500-800 albums a week at one point, and that's because I partnered with the label. They had their relationships. They took actually 80% of that deal. I got 20%, but I wouldn't even have that 20% if it wasn't for their partnerships. And this is why also the principal rules is that I would rather have 20% of a watermelon than 100% of a grape. So I'm getting a smaller piece of a bigger pie, right? And it's because I partnered with the label. I also signed with them a long time ago because they had relationships with radio and other different things, publicists, and also just the manpower and the team at the time, because I didn't have that. And while they were doing all what they were doing and hopefully doing what they were supposed to do, I was touring and making money a different way. And so, when we did sell a lot of records, sure, I got paid for all those tour dates, but then all of a sudden I started getting royalty checks from all the albums that we were selling. Right? And so that was a form of partnership, working with other people. Sync companies, the company that got me the Super Bowl placement or the ABC promo or any of the other syncs that we got, I don't have those relationships, so they get those relationships. And it's interesting, sometimes we will get an email for a sync placement, but I'll forward it off to the sync company because guess what? They're better at negotiating. And when I saw some of the fees we would get for some of these placements, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I wouldn't have thought to ask for that. So please take your 15%, take your 20% commission, your cut, because you got me a way bigger amount as opposed to me like wanting to hold everything. One of the very first partnerships that we did was actually with a booking agent. Remember when we talked about the service-based business? Well, it used to be me booking all the shows, doing all the contracts. And again, when we partnered with an agent that started to ask for more, started to make sure, the shows were set up better and started getting a higher guarantee. So it made more sense to give away 15% or 20% so that I could partner with them. Another one is print-on-demand merch. Instead of printing and shipping the merch ourselves, we worked with the company that print and shipped that. What about songwriters? Partnering with other songwriters to make the songs better. Partnering with producers. You shouldn't be everything, right? The one that writes the music, produces the music, mixes the music, right? I partner with these different people that allows me to move faster. Like if you ever wonder why these partnerships are so important, it's because number one, it can make you more money. It can connect you to different relationships, earn more money, and it's faster. If you want to go, it's this actually backwards quote, but they say if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. But I believe with partnerships, you can go fast and you can go farther. I really believe that. Another partnership is influencers. Okay, you don't want to post on social media, right? You hate posting on social media. Okay, give somebody your song to make the videos, but you got to pay, right? You got to pay. You got to pay the influencer who has built up that following. Maybe you only got 1,000 followers. Well, pay somebody else who's got 100,000 or 1,000,000 followers. But you got to understand, if you're not willing to do the work and build up the following, you got to pay somebody else to. But that's a great partnership. The last partnership, which I love this one, and I wish I did this one sooner, is partnered with other artists. We just collaborated with 2 other artists on a song. And what's so cool about this is right now that song is in my top 5. It's in another artist's top 6, right? So whenever I do marketing about my brand or my artist, right, my songs, that other artist is going to benefit because that song is in my top 5. Right? So other people are going to see it and they're going to go, oh, I'm going to go check out this other artist. Who's this other artist featured on there? And that's now forever partnership. Like now anything I ever do, and I bring new fans into my world or they bring fans into their world, we're both going to benefit on that. But what's really cool with this partnership, this specific one, is there was no money exchanged. We all came together and brought our skills. There was a producer and 2 other artists. And so there was no money exchanged. Now this song already has like almost 100,000 streams in less than a week. And so we're all going to start earning money by bringing all of our skills together. Is this not good? Come on, give me some fire emojis if this is not blowing your mind. Skill number 3 is marketing. All right. And I know a lot of artists, musicians, we hate that word, but what is that? Well, that could be music videos. It could be short form videos, TikToks, YouTube Shorts, all that stuff, posting on social media, right? Telling your story. It could be radio, you hiring a radio promoter to take your songs. And what you really got to understand is the reason you're paying radio is because they have built an audience. They've got attention. People are listening to their radio station. So you want to get in front of their listeners, right? That's what we're doing here, right? Touring could be a form of marketing. And I really suggest you not just touring on your own, but buying on to somebody who already has thousands of people coming to their shows or hundreds of people coming to shows. You're paying again for that attention. That artist has already toured and done all the hard work while you're paying to be on that tour. Again, same thing with those paid influencer posts. Somebody has done all the work. They've built up the attention. They've built the audience. Well, you're paying now to put your song in front of that audience, right? How about emailing your list? Well, if you have done marketing with your music videos, social media posts, all that stuff, and you're saying, hey, maybe download this song for free and just give me your name and email. Now you've built up an email list, and now you can message that email list for free because you've built up that audience, right? That's marketing. What about an SMS list? And these are all things you do over time. Maybe it's at the shows. Maybe it's online where you're saying, hey, text this number to here and we'll send you a free song. And then they end up signing up to your SMS list. What about paid features? Sure, you can collaborate. That's one way for free, but also just pay the person. Say, hey, I'd like to pay you to be on this song because I want to be in front of your fans, your audience that you've tapped into. All right. We could go super deep into that. I'm just covering the fringes on that one. Skill number 4 is now advertising. Now, what's the difference between marketing and advertising? Well, sure, you can post organically your music videos, your short form content. Well, now we want to actually advertise. You can run Facebook ads, social media ads, Spotify ads, YouTube ads, TikTok ads. So what you would do is you would take all these posts, all this organic marketing you're doing, and you would now take the best ones, and now you would advertise. Now you pay to put those in front of people on the masses, right? You're taking that message. Now hopefully you're selling something or you're promoting something so that you can get good ROI, but now you're getting that message in front of millions of more people, again, at a faster rate. Organic can be very fast and things can go viral, but if you don't want to wait for that and you want it to happen faster, well, then you start doing paid advertising. Another form would be playlist promotions, right? doing playlist promotions, to be on a Spotify playlist, whatever playlist, just be very careful with that because there's a lot of botted and sketchy stuff out there. But those are the different skills that you need for getting and building a music empire of 6 and 7 figures. If you need more help with your music career, we obviously have links below to different courses so you can go deeper. I've got different ebooks, audiobooks on Amazon. One of my favorites right now is the Song Launch Checklist. Just really helps you to cover every little thing that you need for launching a song. I still look at this because I forget on some of the stuff that needs to happen for your song to be successful.